Hello, everyone. This is WealthWise 2025, week 36. Today's theme is longevity economics, designing a 100-year wealth plan that compounds capability, optionality, and impact. Remember, this is educational content only, not financial advice. So please use a fiduciary, a pro attorney, or a CPA for your personal financial decisions. I'm your success strategist, and we are continuing on from last week where we fortified portfolios against climate and cyber shocks so your wealth can withstand the volatility. This week, we look beyond defense to design for a 100-year arc. So resilience today compounds into prosperity, purpose, and options tomorrow. What you'll leave with today is a 100-year wealth planning canvas, a longevity balance sheet, 3 design drills, and a 30, 60, 90-day rollout you can start tonight. So why does longevity economics matter so much now? Well, we're living longer lives and we have faster cycles. Longevity is rising while technology, climate, and policy cycles shorten. So you need a plan that evolves, not a one and done binder that you put on your shelf and never reference. Health span versus lifespan. Money lasts longest when energy, skills, and relationships do too. And lastly, design beats drift. Most big money choices, where you live, how you work, who you invest with, repeat every decade, but we'll choose decide over default. So we're not chasing necessarily a big, bold number. What we're building is an operating system that enables you to keep creating choices in your life as you mature and progress. You might say, what is a 100-year wealth plan? I've never heard about this before. So it's really a systems designed for money, skills, relationships, and assets that thrive across 4 different dimensions. Your health span, which is your behaviors and environments that keep you capable, sleep, movement, social ties, preventative care. Your wealth span, that's inclusive of cash flows, compounding, and risk controls that outlast shocks. Work span, evolving earning capacity, like your portfolio careers, royalties, advisory services, micro ventures, and your impact span, your legacy, your giving up tempo, your community capital that is in strong alignment to your values. So in our metrics to monitor quarterly, in our health span area, we need to understand how our energy is doing and self-rate that, how many days we're active, and did we do something preventative to help us ensure adherence to our schedule and to prevent illness or some other type of issue from occurring. And that preventative maintenance, if you will, of ourselves, of our environment, of our body, of all things health related is going to ensure that we are able to live longer and create this phenomenal portfolio out of our 100-year wealth plan. Well, in our wealth span, we want to look at our liquidity months. Did we have drawdown stressors that occurred? Did we have any coverage gaps that were closed? In the work span area, we can look at pipeline of opportunities, the skill refreshers that were completed, the percentage of income from diversified sources. And in the impact span, We can look at the hours to the dollars devoted to our mission. We can look at our joy index. So that's self-reported measurement from our giving that's strongly aligned to our values. So again, that's the metrics to monitor either weekly, monthly, or quarterly, depending on where you're at with regard to your habit building in this area. Next is the longevity balance sheet. You add what banks don't. So you have assets beyond just dollars. So in the financial arena, you have a resilience fund. That's your short term. You have growth sleeves or growth workflows, which are long term. And then you have a protection stack. And that's often where you put insurance and other risk reduction activities in. In the human area, you may be looking at marketable skills, certifications, AI fluency, reputational signals like public artifacts of your work. In the relational area, you may have an investment circle, peer due diligence partners, or other mentors or apprentices. And in the regenerative area, you may want to be looking at upgrading energy efficiency, community solar, other power generation, or nature positive cash flows. So a liability that we need to be considerate of is single employer dependence, fragile geographies, skills atrophy, insurance gaps, especially flood, cyber, and long-term care, digital estate chaos, tax drag, and over concentration or over focus on one particular area to the detriment of the rest. So you can just simply take a few moments, draw 4 columns: financial, human, relational, regenerative, list 3 assets and 3 liabilities within each. Star, if you have star 1 hidden asset to scale and 1 liability that you need to neutralize in the next 30 days. So your portfolio is much bigger than just your brokerage account. Treat skills, relationships, and resilience upgrades as investable assets. So the Century portfolio is not just about education. It includes other areas. So a portfolio that ages well is a mosaic of 4 different elements or sleeves. Resilience core, that gives you defense and optionality. Liquidity buckets with a rules-based refill. Insurance fit check, health, disability, property, liability, long-term care as appropriate. Cyber hygiene for your financial accounts, beneficiaries, and title audits. Your regeneration area, that's cash flows that restore. So projects and products with measurable positive externalities, i.e. efficiency retrofits, community energy, circular economy vehicles, etc. Track a regenerative rate, the percentage of your income that's allocated here and the ROI or value that you're receiving. Collaborative capital, that's really what you're creating wealth together with others. So investment circles, co-investment due diligence, regulated crowdfunding, small repeatable bets with shared insight. So you can use a simple charter: purpose, sizes, decision cadence, and exit rules to help you build habit and muscle in this area. Human plus AI growth engines. So AI for screening and rebalancing. You for goals, risks, and ethics. So a decision journal: date, thesis, evidence, and guardrail zone. green, yellow, and no fly, and then review your outcomes. We need to adopt and modify our guardrails, oftentimes through the use of a fiduciary. So automate your low stakes, i.e., put AI right in there with you. Make sure that you have a human review, 2 pairs of eyes if needed, for your higher stake exits, leverage, and legacy. And do a pre-mortem before any concentrated bet, ensure maximum position size rules, and a rebalancing calendar. So how do we put all this together? Well, we can go through life phases, not just looking at it through ages, right? And this can be a flexible 4-stage map. So first is foundation. So that's usually years 0 or, from our plan, years 0 through 25. Still stacking, credential strategy, AI literacy, first collaborative bets. Expansion, years 25 through 50, household systems, risk spreading, side assets, and community capital. Optimization, 50 through 75, work redesign, that's advisory and royalties, geographical decisions based on health and cost, and resilience tune-ups. And lastly, stewardships, 75 through 100. Care models, intergenerational coaching, digital estate, values aligned giving. Again, these are life phases, not ages. So even though we look at it through the lens of 0 through 25 for foundational, if you're starting this at age 50, 65, 80, right, you're just going to take each of these and still put in place the foundation, expansion, optimization, and stewardship with an eye towards your projected lifespan. Split it up appropriately. The transitions between these stages are where wealth leaks. So build a ritual before any life shift. Run the 15x5 transition sprints. Again, 15 minutes, 3 ideas, 3 rule sets, 5 minutes to actually decide and put something into action, or give yourself 48 hours to decide how you're going to put it into play. So long tail risks to price in. Care and capability, long-term care planning, home modifications, care networks, caregiver respite planning, cyber and identity, multi-factor authentication across financial portals, password managers, yearly lockdown drills, digital estate binders, place risk. Maybe there needs to be insurance reentrenchment. Is there new climate exposures? How can you do mitigation, ROI, roof, flood, energy upgrades, etc.? Have you had skill decay? If so, then you can schedule refreshers, undertake micro-credentialing, especially in this AI-assisted analysis and communications. Has there been tax and policy drift? Well, beneficiary titling check, auth or pre-tax mix review, state domicile implications, preferably with a professional, and then black swans, plan B liquidity, backup housing, and multi-income optionality. Next would be legal and digital estate foundation checklist. You want to coordinate with an attorney who is licensed in your state. Will, durable powers of attorney, healthcare proxies and advanced directives, beneficiary designations from retirement and insurance, and transfer payable on death where appropriate. Trusts, if they are applicable to your goals. Revocable living trust basics help avoid probate complexity. And in the digital estate areas, a secure vault of logins, instructions for social and financial accounts, and crypto digital assets access plan. And lastly, an annual beneficiary and title days, one calendar block to verify and fix anything that needs remediation. Next would be family governance and next gen education. So you could have a quarterly family board. The agenda is the purpose of it and your story. Take a snapshot of your numbers, run the risks and any mitigations needed. Create one generosity act and one learning assignment for the entirety of the family. Then make a family operating memo. What are we optimizing for? What are our rules for deaths, gifts, and co-signings? What are our educational expectations? And most of all, how do we handle conflicts through to successful resolution? Education tracks for heirs, financial basics, investing literacy, AI literacy, career design, service orientation, and volunteering. Your family doesn't just inherit your wealth that you're granting them. What you want them to inherit is also the mechanisms and the mindsets that you're putting in place while you're still alive. Entrepreneurship and skill compounding, income that ages well. Encore micro ventures, advisory retainers, digital products, licensing workshops, niche newsletters, asset-backed content, templates, checklists, playbooks with usage rights, royalty wheels, small bets across books, courses, and creative licenses. Focus on the evergreen problems. And lastly, business hygiene. Separate accounts, simple CRMs, quarterly reviews, and clear your offer stack. So we want you to do one micro venture that you could test in 30 days. Define the smallest shippable offer that you can make and the first 10 outreach contacts you're going to send it to, and give yourself up to 48 hours to get that done. Then we need to look at regeneration and impact, and that's really about values that pay the way forward. Choose 1 to 2 causes. Define impact KPIs as clearly as your return KPIs. Look at your vehicles. Is there a donor advised fund, direct gifting, program related investments? Again, if you have a pro, that's much better to help you with your outcomes. Have a give and grow habit. 1 hour a month of skilled volunteering that also expands your networks and your options. So the 100-year wealth planning canvas can be filled in on one page. Your purpose sentence, why your wealth exists. 4 spanning goals with 3 bullets each. Your century portfolio elements or sleeves: resilience, regeneration, collaborative, your human plus AI actions, and again, the guardrails or rule set you're going to use. Mechanisms and cadence, quarterly reviews, decision journals, accountability partners. Long tail risks, posture for each one that you've identified. Family governance, board cadence, operating memo, and education tract. Impact thesis, what good means and how you'll all know if you've achieved it. And your first action, actually your first 3 actions in less than or equal to 7 days. So the longevity 3 numbers plus some bonus metrics for you. Your enough number, the annual cost of your values aligned life. Your regenerative rate, the percentage of income allocated to assets that restore energy, skills, and community. Your optionality index, your liquidity months plus your cross skill level plus your strength of peer finance network. Bonus, coverage score of your insurance fit, concentration score, your position sizing, decision cadence, reviews held versus plan. Track these quarterly and aim to move each one notch better every 90 days. So design drills, do them live or do them as homework. Again, the 15-5 longevity sprint, AI assisted. 15 minutes, generate 3 moves for your next decade or your next phase. Bold, safer stay with the risk, returns, and impacts notice. Then 5 minutes to choose one, assign your owners the next step with a deadline of less than or equal to 7 days. Log it and do it. Then pre-mortem the next decade. Imagine it's 2035 and your plan failed. Oh my, why? List the top 5 reasons and design counter moves now. Lastly, the sunset gate. Identify one account, policy, expense you no longer need. Archive, consolidate, or redirect your dollars to the regenerative work stream. So extra for life transitions. Again, remember that's where the highest amount of risk comes in. Run a 15-by-5 transition sprint before job changes, moves, or health decisions. Lastly, the 30, 60, 90 rollout plan, because who does what and when? Again, days 1 through 30 is Ignite. Draft your longevity balance sheet, choose one asset to scale and one liability to neutralize. Fill out your canvas, at least the first draft. Run one 15-by-5 sprint. Book consultations with your fiduciary, your attorney, your tax professional. Hold a family board light, 30 minutes. State your purpose, one small generosity act that you're going to undertake together. Days 31 through 60, stabilize. Implement 2 mitigations for care, cyber, place, and skills. Launch your decision journal and your quarterly review calendar. Formalize your beneficiary and title check and create your digital estate finder. And pilot one micro venture or collaborative investment circle. Days 61 through 90. Add one regeneration asset. Publish your operating memo. Run a full family board. Tune your insurance fist. Sunset one obsolete expense. Document one signal and story you're extremely proud of and that you want to keep going or have as part of your legacy. And then last, review your 3 numbers and adjust next quarter's actions. So our week 36 challenge is for you to do this now over the next 7 days. Complete your longevity balance sheet and your Canvas version 1. Run one 15-by-5 longevity sprint and schedule a 30-day review. Fix one liability and your beneficiary title gap, a security gap, an insurance mismatch within 7 days. Share your bold move with a trusted micro circle for feedback and post your progress at hashtag WealthWise 2025 to keep yourself accountable. So our reflection prompts for you to journal or chat with a partner on is: which span, health, wealth, work, or impact needs your attention first? What's one single change which would expand your optionality set the most in the next 12 months? Which regenerative asset would you be proud to own for the next 20 years? And what story do you hope your family tells about your stewardship in 2035? So in closing, resilience protects, but longevity design compounds. Pair your collaboration muscle with AI-enabled clarity and a regenerative mindset, and you'll craft wealth that lasts. Wealth that means something and that ultimately wealth that scales beyond you. See you next week for actionable check-ins and real-world examples of 100-year planning done right. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, your success strategist, bringing you WealthWise 2025, week 36, longevity economics, designing a 100-year wealth plan that compounds capability, optionality, and impact.